They were starving, watched around the clock, and forbidden from lighting a single flame. Yet, deep inside the Nazi POW camps, Allied soldiers were eating warm meals, cooked right under the guards' noses. This isn't a myth. It's a masterclass in survival ingenuity that every prepper needs to understand. If you're ready for this level of next-level savvy, you're in the right place. Stick with the Prepper's Survival Blueprint Tribe and hit that subscribe button. This is the story of how the human spirit, backed by sharp observation, became its own best survival tool. The rules were simple and brutal. No fires, no smoke, no stoves. The Nazis controlled every visible source of energy. Men were wasting away on meagre rations of raw, hard grains and rotting vegetables. Their bodies were crying out for cooked, digestible calories. The situation seemed hopeless. But in that darkness, a spark of genius ignited. The prisoners stopped asking, "How do we make fire?" and started asking the real question, what creates heat? This shift in mindset was everything. It moved them from a dead end to a universe of possibility. The answer was in the very materials of the camp itself. Prisoners, many of whom were not scientists, began noticing that certain substances got hot when mixed with water. This is a simple exothermic reaction, the same core science that heats up your modern MRE meal pouch. They would secretly acquire small amounts of quicklime, a compound used in construction and sanitation. When mixed with a tiny amount of water in a sealed can or a makeshift container, it would produce a tremendous amount of heat without any flame or smoke. This wasn't cooking over a campfire, this was chemistry in a can. A sealed container of oats and water placed inside a larger can with the reacting mixture would slowly but surely cook into a life-sustaining porridge. It was a silent, invisible kitchen. The guards never saw a thing. Sometimes even getting those materials was too risky, so the adaptation continued. This is where survival truly becomes an art. They turned to biology. Prisoners discovered that by soaking raw rice or coarse grains in water for extended periods, sometimes for days, the starches would begin to break down. The grains would swell and soften, becoming edible without any heat at all. It wasn't gourmet, but it was calories. They learned the principles of fermentation, allowing natural bacteria to pre-digest their food, making nutrients more available and reducing the risk of sickness. In the most desperate times, they used the one heat source the Nazis could never confiscate: their own bodies. They would tuck sealed containers of grain mix against their skin, using their core body warmth overnight to slowly cook the mixture into a palatable sludge. So, what's the real lesson for us today? It's not about stockpiling quicklime. It's about internalizing the principle. Fire is a luxury. Heat is a tool. And tools can be engineered. In a grid-down scenario, a visible flame could be a beacon for trouble. In an urban survival situation, you might not have the fuel or the security for a fire. This story teaches us to look at our environment with different eyes. So, what do you have that can create energy? Do you understand the principles of solar cooking truly? Do you have commercial flameless ration heaters in your bug-out bag? Have you practiced thermal cooking using a well-insulated container to finish cooking food without constant fuel? These prisoners were the ultimate preppers. They had no gear, but they had knowledge and a relentless will to adapt. They looked at a bag of cement and saw a stove. They looked at a can of raw oats and saw a potential hot meal. They mastered the art of the invisible, a skill that holds immense value for operational security in any crisis. Their legacy isn't just in the history books. It's in every survival mindset that values brains over brute force and ingenuity over a standard checklist. They proved that the most important piece of survival gear isn't in your pack, it's between your ears. If this kind of deep dive into forgotten survival wisdom lights a fire in you, then do us a solid. Subscribe to Prepper's Survival Blueprint and share this with someone who gets it. Because the more we learn from the past, the more prepared we are for the future. Stay sharp.